Variety eternal, shining and chrome.
So today we're going to take a look at Premier Toys Warlord. This is technically, well, this is basically Immortan Joe from Mad Max Fury Road, but they call it the Warlord because of, copyright, whatever's. I came across this figure during a pre-order, a pre-order search. I was just wandering around my local online store and I found these pictures of this guy. And yeah, from these pictures, it was pretty impressive of how he looks. But right after I finished pre-ordering, I just noticed something, and I noticed it too late. His hair, it's one of those fake hair things, and those are always fun to deal with. So you know what? With that being said, let's take a look at this big boy. And here's Immortan Joe in all his glory. And this, honestly, I did see some, reviews over this guy from other channels. And I don't know what they were doing or how they shot it, but it looked pretty cheap. It looked pretty awful. But now I have it in hand. It's very, very, very nice, honestly. The only problem with this I have is the hair, which I'm going to keep it like this, because I have absolutely no idea how to stylize fake hair, and I'm not gonna attempt it because since this is a third party, this hair is gonna come off very easily if I comb it. So I'm just gonna keep it as is and just bear with it, I guess. So with that being said, maybe let's take a closer gander of this weird gray boy. And here's a closer look at Immortan Joe. And you could see all the detail there. Even his clothes are weathered nicely. It's not like a half-assed job. It's really faded in with dirt and all that. You can see his plastic armor and all that. You can also see the grossness of his back. They did show that in the film of how, I guess, sick he is, or how, I don't know, messed up he was. So he does need like this breathing apparatus and all that to just be alive. And you can detach his mask, but I'll show you guys that later. But his mask, I think, is die-cast, honestly. It has a little weight to it. And another stipulation about the mask I hate is there's no clip or peg. You just have to squeeze it into his face, which results in you kind of scratching the face paint a bit. But you know what? Whatever. It's a third-party figure. You're bound to have some inconsistencies and little overlooked stuff. So with that being said, let's take a look at what he comes with. Belt, another belt, gun, holster, another holster, staff, face mask, hand. And this is what Immortan Joe comes with. It's honestly not a lot, but I think it makes up with his overall armor and all that. So he doesn't really need a lot. His armor makes up with the lack of accessories. So with that being said, let's take a closer gander at one of his belts. He does come with two. I don't remember him wearing this. I remember him wearing this the most. So let's take a look at that. So as you can see, I don't want to say it's die cast. It's one of those metals they use for jewelry, If you have jewelry that's like sort of metal, this is what they used for this. It's pretty heavy. Its chain is also, I guess, metally-ish. This is pleather, unfortunately, so I suggest don't interchange these belts too often or too many times. Once you get the belt you want, just stick with it throughout. This one also clips off. Let's see. Yeah, it comes clipped off like this in the packaging, so you have to clip it on like so, and he's good to go. So yeah, this thing is pretty heavy, so I'm scared of this thing warping, this strap warping over time, because it's a pretty thin piece of whatever it is. I'm scared it might warp because it is a pretty hefty piece of accessory he's wearing. I guess that's a future me's problem. Next up, we have his holster, I guess. I'm just going to show you one. It's basically stitched together, glued together, hard pleather. This is okay. I think this will last quite a bit. I mean, if you hear that, this is pretty hard, so I don't think this will flake or anything in the future. Same goes with that one. You could interchange these holsters with these belts, no problem. Next up, we have this other belt, which I don't remember him wearing, honestly. It has 92924s. I don't know what this means. Is this the faction he's in or something? It's really haphazardly glued in there, so this might fall off. So I don't know, maybe you strengthen that with more glue or something. Again, the strap is pretty shit. It's thin as fuck, so yeah, this is gonna tear if you're not too careful, you know. I think once you get the belt you want, you just stick with it. There's no point changing it in and out. Next up, we have one of his gunny guns. This is also metal. I want to say metal. It's cold to the touch. It does rotate, but it is lacking that little finesse of detail. But you know, overall, from afar, it looks cool. I don't remember him using this though. Then again, it's been years since I've seen the movie. I know this gun though. This is the gun he gave to that war boy, and he fucked up and dropped it. And then he said, this is the one that he gave the war boy. Shiny and chrome. I guess that's why these guns are shiny. Doop. And then next up we have the main, well for me the main draw of this figure is this mask. I think this mask is a little toned down from what I saw in the movies. I think the one in the movies is more brutal. This one looks a little toned down for me. Again, it uses friction to hold onto his face, which I don't like. And the hoses here are magnetized, so it magnetizes to his little breathing apparatus. I'll show you guys that later. It magnetizes quite well, quite firm, so I'm not worried about that. I'm just worried about the how they made this into like a friction-based thing. You know, you just plug it into his face. I don't really like that. Then we have his staff, which I think I only saw in when he's like praying or something during that scene. He's like looking at this thing. I'll show you a scene here. And then he's like, I don't know what the hell these things are. It looks cool. Looks like Boba Fett's staff. But yeah, that's his staff. It's not really well weathered, well detailed. Honestly, it looks more plasticky than. It's supposed to be wood, right, or something. To me, it just looks like a plastic rod, which isn't great. But it's a third party, so I'll forgive it. Honestly. And then finally, we have his wide assortment of hands. What's interesting is these hands, they each come with its own peg, which is interesting. So we have his finger pointing hand. Now it is powdery like this because in the movie he is powdery. I don't know what the lore is for his skin treatment, but they put powder on him to protect him against the sun or something. So this isn't like a fluke or a mistake. He is this color. He is powdery in some areas. So we got one fist, one holy thingy-mabob, I guess for the staff. Then we got 1, 2. Are they the same? No, they're kind of different, these hands, which is interesting as well. So we got one. I think this is for the gun. I think this is for something else, honestly. You can see his hands. Doop, doop, doop. And finally, we have 2 pairs of relaxed hands here. I'm trying to focus, but it ain't working. My camera's freaking out today. Sorry. Well, with that being said, let's stick all this junk onto the Immortan Joe and see how he looks like. And here's Immortan Joe all loaded up with all his accessories. Now there are other 1/6 scale Mad Max Fury Road figures here. There's a Tom Hardy one and another one of that girl. What's her face? Let me think. Furiosa, yeah. But these two don't look as good in person as in the pictures. But this guy is legit. He is. I think they learn from other mistakes and they trying to make it up with this guy. And holy shit, they nailed it. I think it's because of the mask. It sells it. I mean, if he was just a plain face, I wouldn't have got him because I like figures with masks or helmets. And this is him. I mean, what do you guys think? Is this something you might be interested in? Aside from the fake hair, which I will not touch that. This is how it came out in the packaging, all nicely combed. I'm just gonna keep it like that. If you fuck around with that too much, it'll get all, how do you say, bunched up, and you'll end up with an afro. So unless you know how to stylize doll hair, just leave it. So this is him. This is Emotin Joe, or the Warlord from Premier Toys. See if I could rotate him one more. He did fall like 6 times already, but he is very durable. So yeah, that's his back. I wonder if I could, yeah, I'll do a close-up later. And you could see the hoses does magnetize to his breathing apparatus there. And yeah, everything it's on point. If it was a Hot Toys figure, I would be more, how do you say, nitpicky about it. But because it's a third party, I'll forgive some inconsistencies and some mistakes. So the mask does come off, and it does show his disgusting wounded face during that scene where, well, y'all know that. If you didn't watch the movie, then I suggest you watch it. But his true face is something else on this figure. So let's do a close-up of this guy and show him unmasked. So here's a close-up of Immortan Joe with his mask, and he does have blue eyes, which is interesting. You can see the fake hair there, not very great, but from afar it does work. There's a close-up of his armor, his very random medals and stuff he probably got from the wastes. Got his belt there, he's holding his gun. You can see the detail of that chest piece. And you can see the, I don't know if I could pick it up, but his clothes are nicely weathered. It's not one tone, it's different tones melded together. And you can see like a bottle cap thing going on with his shoulder armor. I honestly don't think this is armor. It's kind of plasticky. I think it's just some sort of fashion-esque thing going on. So you can see his back does suffer from some radiation sickness or something, which is absolutely gross but awesome at the same time. See his belt. This part is wired, so you can have it like billowing in the wind, and you can see here where it's detached, well, attached. Let's see if I can do it. Let's see if I can. There we go. Focus. So there's a magnet there, and you just clip on. It's good to go. Breathing apparatus there. Better speed it up because I'm losing light. It's about to rain. It was sunny just 5 minutes ago. And this is him. This is a close-up of Immortan Joe. Yeah. Oh yeah, his shoes, his boots, his wasteland boots. So let's see this guy without the mask. Oh boy. So the face mask is off, and this is what he looks like. Not a pretty face to showcase, but this is how he looked like at the end of the movie when Furiosa stuck his mask in the tire. You can also see some extra stuff here on his armor here, but yeah, this is his face. So with that being said, let's try and find a place for him on my display case. Try is the word. And this is where I'll stick Immortan Joe with my random figures because he doesn't really, honestly, doesn't really match well with whatever I have going on with the rest of the shelves. So I'm just gonna keep him here for now. And yeah, this is what I think about the Premier Toys Warlord. This is a very nice figure, honestly, for a third party. I'm really glad I got him. No regrets, honestly. Sorry about the light, but it is what it is. So with that being said, let me know what you guys think about this guy. And some lore, I guess. I want to know more about him. The movie didn't really explain about who he is or how he became like this, what he's suffering from. So yeah, with that being said, thanks for watching. And as always, go get him.